Yo, what's good, basketball heads? It's your boy Crush. So here go Tim Legler reveals ESPN exec thought Pacers were not sexy enough for in-depth coverage. So Tim Legler, he wanted to cover the Pacers, he liked their playing style, how they play, their whole system, but apparently they weren't sexy enough, or to put it in other terms, they don't generate enough interest. ESPN don't feel like, it's Indiana. So of course they're not looked at as like, this is a team that we want to cover. You know how it goes with basketball. The marquee teams, they get coverage, and the other teams, the smaller market teams, it's like whatever. They might get a little spotlight when they play a marquee team, but overall, they don't get a lot of coverage. So the executives at ESPN, they didn't want Tim Legler to even entertain the Pacers, even in the New York series. If you notice, they talked about New York a lot. The Knicks versus the Pacers, they were more focused on New York, what New York is doing. As you can see by Stephen A., and everybody was talking about New York. It was all centered around what New York is trying to do, what they're doing. Over the years, ESPN have gotten a fair bit of criticism for always focusing on the bigger markets like the Lakers, the Celtics, just certain teams. Denver, Nikola Jokic, and they won the championship. And even then, when they won, they talked about LeBron. Last season when Denver won the championship, the entire coverage was about LeBron, what he's going to do next. So you can see how they treat the smaller market teams. So this is what Tim Legler had to say. I wish I had video of all the meetings I've been in this year at ESPN when I wanted to talk more about the Indiana Pacers, especially after they got Pascal Siakam. And it's just not sexy enough. So it's like we kind of didn't talk about it. And I'm going, man, I watch this team every night. I'm going, gosh, that's a fun style to play in. I envy these guys for being able to play in a system like this. But just how hard it is to guard, how hard it is to prepare when they have this many guys that can make shots and don't waste one dribble. There's not one wasted dribble on the part of the Indiana Pacers over the half court. So that's what Tim Legler had to say. He really wanted to cover the Pacers. He enjoyed their play style, how they play. And they do actually have a real fun play style. The ball is moving. It's not sticking. One player is not dominating the ball. They do have a really nice play style compared to New York, where it's either Julius Randle that's, dribbling the air out the ball, or it's Jalen Brunson who's dominating the ball. With the Pacers, the ball just moved, hence why they advanced in Game 7. Granted, New York had a few injuries, but their play style is why they won. The ball moves, man. Nobody holds the ball. It doesn't stick. Sort of like the Warriors, basically. And with a system like that, it's hard to beat. More likely than not, you're going to win games when you have a system like that. No one is dominating the ball. Yes, we know Tyrese Halliburton. He's the main star of the team. But at the same time, he's not dribbling the air out the ball. You get the ball, you move it. But that's crazy, man. The network is like, nah, we're not interested in that. But that's how it is. If it ain't the big guys, LeBron, AD on the Lakers, Boston Celtics, Miami, all the bigger markets, Chicago. If it ain't the bigger markets or teams, they don't really care. Unfortunately, that's what brings in money. That's what people want to see. Well, that's what the majority want to see. They want to see them talk about the Lakers and the bigger markets, so that's what they're focused on. And everybody knows, even I do, talking about LeBron James, that generates money. That generates a lot of views and attention, so that's what they're going to talk about. That's what everybody's going to talk about. Well, what's crazy about this is Tim Legler saying this. Isn't this confidential information that they don't want to get out there? I don't think they would be happy with him coming out publicly and talking about, something like this. I hope this doesn't compromise his situation or his position at ESPN, because I don't know if they would want to talk about this, openly. This is something I would assume they would want to keep under wraps, so nobody knows what's going on. So I doubt the execs at ESPN would be too happy with Tim Legler, going into details, and putting this out there publicly. And what the Pacers have done this season is amazing. Let's be honest, nobody saw the Pacers go into the Eastern Conference Finals. No one expected the Pacers to be in the position they're in. I'm sure everybody wanted the Knicks to win. Of course I did. Even the NBA. I'm sure the NBA wanted the Knicks to win. It would just be better for the Knicks to go up against the Celtics. It would just be better for the Knicks to go up against the Celtics. So I'm sure the league and a lot of people wanted the Knicks to win. Unfortunately, they lost. Indiana won. Hats off to them. But that's crazy though, man, because you're in a smaller market. You're deemed not sexy, even though you're playing really nice basketball. The kind of basketball you would want to watch when you watch like Golden State Warriors. That's that similar play style, but because they're in a smaller market, nobody wants to cover them. And I understand because I don't really talk about Indiana much. Yes, they're a good team now. They're a pretty good team, but it's Indiana. Nobody really talks about them like that. Unfortunately, even Dan Patrick said he was embarrassed for ESPN over the coverage because even after Indiana eliminated the Knicks, advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals, ESPN still talked about the Knicks. They still covered the Knicks. They literally ignored Indiana, the winning team, similar to what they did last year when Denver won, defeated the Lakers, and all they cared about was LeBron retirement. What is LeBron going to do? What's next for LeBron? And they completely ignored Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets, who would soon go on to win the championship. But this is the kind of media bias that goes on. Even if you don't want to cover a team because you feel like they're in a small market, they're not of interest, whatever. In a playoff series, at least when they win in advance, you could at least give them some coverage then, even if you don't want to cover them all the time. But man, this is ESPN doing what they do, They're a part of the LeBron media. It's all narratives. Indiana out here balling, but Indiana out here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Nobody saw them getting this far. I didn't. But as always, I'll holla. As always, we just talking basketball. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share. Holla at your boy.
It's all about the game and how you play it. It's all about the game. I'ma say it. It's all about the game.